Hello, good morning. You are welcome to the Gallery TV. I am Ogunjobi Samuel, and I hope you had a pleasant night. As for me, I did. Quickly this morning, we are going to be looking at the front page of major Nigerian newspaper. And quickly, as we look at this newspaper, we have the New Telegraph newspaper, we have the Guardian newspaper, we also have Nigerian Tribune, Vanguard, we have Blueprint newspaper. We also have Daily Sun newspaper. Still on the front pages of the newspaper, we have Daily Independent newspaper. We have This Day newspaper, SportingSun newspaper, Nigerian Pilots, and Daily Trust newspaper. So these are the papers we are going to be looking at today. And first on the list, we have the New Telegraph newspaper. Now on the rider, on the major headline, call for secession tears Yoruba apart. Call for secession draws Yoruba apart. And on the rider, Northern elders to Buhari, Nigerian failing. Northern elders to Buhari, Nigerians failing. You can find the details of the story on page 3 of the New Telegraph newspaper. And below the major headline, court orders extension as JAMB makes NIN mandatory for candidates. Court orders extension as JAMB makes NIN mandatory for candidates. And moving on, above the nameplate, MDA's reps probe auditory query on $21 billion linkages. MDA's rep probe auditory query on $21 billion leakages. And that's it on the New Telegraph newspaper. Moving on, we have The Guardian, and on Guardian, slow vaccine rollout rises fear of COVID-19 third wave. Slow vaccines rollout rises fear of COVID-19 third wave. And above the major headline, how Nigerian waste unjustified wealth on UK education. How Nigerian waste unjustified wealth on UK education. And that's it on The Guardian. Quickly, let's look at the Nigerian Tribune. And on the banner headline, Nigeria falling apart under your watch. Nigeria falling apart under your watch. And this is coming from the Northern Elders Forum to Buhari. You can find the details of the story on page 25 of Nigerian Tribune. And below the major headline, APC orders condemned Obasiki's demolition of opposition members' party. APC orders condemns Obasiki's demolition of opposition members' properties. You can find details on page 22 of Nigerian Tribune. Moving on, NULGE kicks against bill to abolish local government as third tier of government. NULGE kicks against bill to abolish local governments as third tiers of government. And the details of this report can be gotten from page 2 of Nigerian Tribune. Still on Tribune, varsity students commit suicide over academic failure in Bayelsa. Varsity students commit suicide over academic failure in Bayelsa. The details, you can find it on page 23. It's very sad. And moving to the right-hand side of this paper, 11 feared killed as soldiers battling gunmen in Abia. 11 feared killed as soldiers battle gunmen in Abia. Details of this report can be found on page 28 of Nigerian Tribune. And okay, moving on, let's look at the Vanguard and what does Vanguard has. Okay. On Vanguard, Nigerian falling apart, NEF, Afenifere, MBF, Pandef tells federal government. Nigerian falling apart, NEF, Afenifere, MBA, Pandef tells federal government. You can find the details of this report on page 5 of Nigerian Vanguard. And still on Vanguard newspaper, bloodbath in Abia, 16 killed as troops police ESN clash. Bloodbath in Abia, 16 killed as troop police ESN clash. And okay, still on the Vanguard, corruption, why Nigeria is rating by Transparency internationally is low. Corruption, why Nigerians rating by Transparency internationally is low. Federal government. You can find the details of this report on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. And still on our newspaper, let's move quickly to the Blueprint. And on Blueprint, okay, looking at the major headline, federal government ends 1 trillion for cottage industries in 774 local governments. Federal government earned 1 trillion naira for cottage industries in 774 local governments. And on the rider, private sector to invest 19 trillion naira over 10 years. And still on the rider, NULG rejects bill seeking to delist local councils as third tier of government. And above the major headline, that's besides the nameplate, Southwest leads as Nigerians' domestic debt hits 4.1 trillion naira. Southwest leads as Nigerians' domestic debt hits 4.1 trillion naira. And that's it on Blueprint. Now, okay, let's look at the Daily Sun newspaper. And on the banner headline, Northern Elders express worry over insecurity. Northern Elders express worry over insecurity. You can find the details of this report on page 6 of Daily Sun newspaper. And below the major headline, flooding, federal government wants Nigeria. Flooding, federal government wants Nigeria. The details of this report can be gotten from page 28 of the Daily Sun. And moving downwards, gunmen abduct 4 in Abuja demands 200 million naira ransom. Gunmen abduct 4 in Abuja demanding 200 million ransom. The details of this report can be found on page 5 of the Daily Sun newspaper. And at this bird, we are looking at the Daily Independent newspaper. And on Daily Independent, still on the Northern Elders. Northern Elders to Buhari, Nigerians falling apart under your watch. Northern Elders to Buhari, Nigeria falling apart under your watch. And above the nameplate, why Tinubu is not a frequent face in Aso Rock Villa. Why Tinubu is not a frequent face in Aso Rock Villa presidency. And besides that story, we have another headline. Nigerian cities risk missing UN 2030 resilient city target. Nigerian cities risk missing UN 2030 resilient city target. The details of this report can be found on page 6 of the Daily Independent newspaper. And moving below the major headline, soldiers kill 11 gunmen in Abia. Soldiers kill 11 gunmen in Abia. And still moving down, why bandits don't drop their weapons? Why bandits won't drop their weapon, Kumi? All these stories you can get on the Daily Independent newspaper. And moving forward, we have This Day newspaper. And on This Day newspaper, fixing Nigerians' challenges must precede 2023 general election, Northern Elders insist. Fixing Nigerians' challenges must precede 2023 general election, in Northern Elders insist. And on the rider, say politicians threats to national security. Say politicians threats to national security. And above the nameplate, again, court nullifies sex removal of Oando directors. Again, court nullifies sex removal of Ondo's directors. And you can find the details of this report on This Day newspaper. So we are still going forward. Okay, and now on sport we have the SportingSun. And on SportingSun, Iheanacho lands into Eagle's nest. Iheanacho lands into Eagle's nest. You can find this on page 6 of SportingSun. And below that, Ronaldo ready for real return. Ronaldo ready for real return. And this you can also find on page 8 of the SportingSun newspaper. And on the major headline here, Ross dissects Benin's home form defense. Raw dissects Benin's home form defects. The details of this report can also be found on page 6 of the SportingSun newspaper. And moving forward, we have the Nigerian pilot. And on the major headline, headers now bandits. Headers now bandits. And finally, we have the Daily Trust newspaper. And on Daily Trust, I will just be looking at just the major headline and what does Daily Trust have. Senate moves to whittle down IGP's power, decentralized police structure. Senate moves to whittle down IGP's powers, decentralizes police structure. You can find this on page 5 of the Daily Trust newspaper. And that's much we will be taking at this moment. I'll be urging you to join us by 12 for the news for the day. Once again, I remain Okunjobi Samuel. Bye for now.
In life, you can never be too sure who to trust. This is the story of Mrs. Ungazi. Mrs. Ungazi just wants to use the ATM.
Good afternoon, Mama. Let me help you out to your withdrawal. You don't need to stress yourself.
Thank you, but I can handle it myself.
The man is just being kind, right? He just wants to help, right? Wrong. All he needs is a good look at the pin. Will he succeed?
Oh, to my IG fans, I say, sorry.
Do not share your card PIN with anyone. Keep your account information private and ensure no one is watching you while you enter your PIN. UBA, Africa's global bank.
It is here again. Are you an artist looking for a place to produce and promote your musical videos?
Or a content creator in need of a platform to air your program?
The Gallery TV got you covered.
At the Gallery, we provide world-class production services
Such as
event coverage,
promotion and production of musical videos,
studio rental,
live streaming of events.
we also provide airtime for your program on all our platforms.
These and lots of other interesting packages, all at an affordable price with a 10% discount.
For more details, you can visit us on our website at www.thegallerytv or on our social media platforms at The Gallery TV on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
The Gallery TV, we set the pace.